All right, guys, some big news today. Jermell Charlo has been stripped of his WBC belt. Let's see what this means. Before I get to that, I need you to do me a favor. Jump on there, subscribe to the channel. We want to get those numbers up. So if you could do me a big favor there, that would be great. But let's get into today's episode because there is some big news, like we just said. Now let's go across to the Instagram of the WBC and see what this major announcement was, because it's all there in black and white, even if they've got a whole bunch of grammar and spelling mistakes. So let's go. Let's see what the WBC are doing. The WBC status in the Super Welterweight division. Let's run through it. The WBC voted in favour to place WBC Super Welterweight champion Jermell Charlo in champion in recess status after analysing the specific circumstances in the division. Jermell's last fight was in the super middleweight division, and there's no certainty that he will return to fight in the super welterweight one. The WBC hereby confirms the upcoming fight for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship between Serhiy Bohachuk, current WBC Continental Americas champion, and former WBC interim champion Sebastian Fundora. So this is for the belt. This is the big one. It's on the undercard of Zoo Thurman. The interesting part here, and correct me if I'm wrong, jump in the comments and help me out, because I'm of the belief that the current interim champion would have got elevated to champion status, just like the WBO did with Tim Tszyu as an interim champion. The second Jermell Charlo got in that ring with Canelo, Tim Tszyu was world champion for the WBO at super welterweight. So I would have assumed that it did it, but obviously not. I do know the WBC really loves Sebastian Fundora and would love to have him as their champion. So maybe there's a little bit going on there, but surely rules are rules, and I'm assuming that I'm probably missed something there, but let me know in the comments. This is a big one. 2 years he has not fought in the super welterweight division. The last time we saw Jermell Charlo fight at super welterweight was Brian Castano Charlo 2. So that has been some time. Since then, all he's done is tease Tim Tszyu about having a fight and then pulling out at the last minute, or having a sore hand, or just playing him for what seemed to be a very, very, very long time after all but signed documents. And then that fight came up at the 11th hour with Canelo, and he took it as you would. Let's sort of give him credit where credit's due. A $20 million fight with Canelo. Everybody's taken that. But since then, we haven't seen him. We haven't heard from him. He didn't turn up to his brother's last fight. There's been a whole lot going on behind the scenes with him, I would imagine. And I believe the WBC has caught up to that as well and said, look, you're really starting to hold things up. Let's free it up. Let's get 154 moving, and let's get some more guys in there. And we'll put you as a champion in recess. Now, this means he gets an opportunity to come back to fight for the belt directly when he chooses, or if he chooses. Now, as the WBC just confirmed, they don't believe he's going to be back at 154, and nor do I, and nor do we, I would imagine. But let's say he does. It's a nicer way than stripping you of the belt, but giving you that opportunity to not have to fight your way back up into an opportunity to fight for it, given he was the undisputed champion. However, the WBO, they've gone. The IBF, that's gone. All he holds now, technically, is the WBA, and I would imagine that he's going to hold that for a matter of weeks. If everyone else is doing it, you would see that they'll probably put Kurbanov and Madrimov up for a vacant belt, and then we've really got an open division on our hands and some big fights. When they start teeing off and start unifying divisions, it's going to be an exciting time for the 154. So I'm looking forward to it myself, and it's about time. It's been way too long. They've really sort of looked after the Charlos, the WBC's. Brother was out for ages. He was out for ages, but yet they were still champions. And look, we just saw recently with Jai Opetaia, he didn't want to fight Bradis straight away and lost a belt just to have one fight in a matter of months. That was ridiculous. But look, you can see how the other sanctioning bodies are operating, and it's good to see the WBC finally making a move on this one. And look, it's all going to open up the division. Let's go have a look at the divisions. I guess if we jump on and see who's where, you can see here through Boxing Scene that we've got, what do we got? All right, obviously yet to be updated, but Jermell Charlo still reigning champion, interim champ Brian Mendoza. But the interesting part is the WBC have not gone with Charles Conwell as the number one mandatory. So he has not got that opportunity. It does go to 2 and 3 to fight for the belt, which is a little bit weird, but we did say that they do love Fundora. WBA still holding there. You can see as 1, 2, 3, and 4 could even really go for that one, but it will be 1 and 2 that fight for that belt. IBF, that's going to be up very, very soon, and then Tim Tszyu's going to start making some moves as well through, obviously, his belt. Tim's next fight against Keith Thurman, the belt will not be on the line as it is a catchweight of 155. But look, as we've seen today, there's some big movements in the 154, so we'll take that. If the WBC can move on a Charlo, I think we're moving in the right direction as well. And it'd be very interesting to see where he goes from here, if he comes back, if it's middleweight, if it's super middleweight, or what's going on, because I believe Tim's going to fight him at any weight that he will take him on at. So we'll see how he goes. I mean, he did leave the division to fight Canelo. Fair enough, A, for the cash, but B, if you did that and you put in like a great performance, a good performance, or even challenged, it was really one-sided and it did him no favours. And I think after that, he's sort of put his head down and disappeared for a little while and counting his 20 mil or however much he got paid for that. But that is the latest for Jermell Charlo, stripped of the WBC belt, well, champion in recess, and it's all up from here, I think, for the 154. So smash that subscribe button and I'll give you more info when I got it.